I'm really liking my look today, and it may come as a surprise to you that this entire face was created using only influencer-owned makeup brands. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Maryam. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing, testing out, and putting together a look using only influencer, beauty guru, YouTuber owned makeup brands. And I'm gonna show you some of the best products from these brands. I'm gonna talk about every single brand and the influencer behind it, and kind of give you like a little glimpse into this world. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching and for subscribing. Hit that notification bell so you can see all of my Wednesdays and Sundays videos. And now there's nothing more to say but to get to this video. Let's hit it. Hair's okay. Hair's okay, face not so okay, but it will be okay in a sec. All right, jumping right into this. Guys, the first thing that I'm gonna do is reach for my powder for the powder under foundation method. And today I have two. I have one from ELCIE Cosmetics, which was started by a makeup artist turned influencer turned brand owner, Makeup by Lilith. She started this brand ELCIE, and I love this brand. They have great products. So this is my option number one. My option number two is a little different. This is the Luminous Powder from Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics. Honestly, I've used ELCIE so many times for setting my foundation, my under eye, etc. Kind of want to do a slightly different technique, and I think that these Luminous Powder from Jaclyn are pretty nice. This is going to be different. I'm going to use a luminous powder under foundation technique. Let's see where that takes us. Right now, I'm really shiny and oily because I have a lot of skincare products on. Don't mind me, I'm kind of going through this transformational skin stage. Ooh, that is shiny, honey. It's weird because it's actually mattifying my skin, but it's adding a luminosity. Like the texture is mattified, but the actual finish is luminous. So interesting. So when I first reviewed this powder, I was kind of underwhelmed by how lackluster it was for a highlighter. And then I also didn't get the fact that it was luminous, and I am not someone who likes to set my foundation with a luminous powder because it highlights my pores and imperfections, and I just, at the time, preferred an overall matte look. Since then, my opinion has shifted, and I kind of like a slightly dewy, slightly luminous all over glow. Today I'm taking it a notch further. I'm gonna use the Dewy Luminous Powder under my foundation method, so we'll see how it goes. Next up, I have something different. I have something new. I have Dominique Cosmetics X JD Weighty 180 Ultra Hydrating Fine Mist. You guys may already know, Dominique Cosmetics was started by Kristen Dominique, who is an influencer and also one of my really good friends. JD Weighty is another influencer. She is a skincare goddess, and she's also another one of my friends, so they have collabed and they created two products, a setting spray and also a primer, which I will be using in my next step. But first, let's set. Oh, that is a fine mist. That was amazing. It felt so fresh. Cucumber scent. I love that. First, I'm trying out this primer. Now, this is a Ultra Hydrating Complexion Primer. And as I always say, just because you have oily skin, Maryam, does not mean that you do not need hydration in your skin, Maryam. I'm gonna add that kind of all over. I'm also gonna add it to my neck and to my chest because I will be applying foundation there later. Oh my God, I love the cucumber scent. It is just so satisfying and it's so good to me. Oh, the dew. Ooh. So for foundation today, I have the Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue Foundation. Now, some of you may think that Dose of Colors is not necessarily an influencer brand, kind of like ELCIE Cosmetics, but similar to Lilith, Anna Petrosian, aka Makeup by Anna, started Dose of Colors after she became a makeup artist influencer. In fact, this is probably the original influencer-owned brand. So today, I'm going to use one of these shades. I have 120, 119, both work great. 119 is a little bit more olive, 120 is a pinch darker. Let's mix the two. Gonna use the same brush that I used for the primer because the primer seemed so very light. All right, obviously I have some breakouts here on my face, but where are they at now though? This is actually one of my favorite full coverage foundations because it truly does its job. A little bit goes a long way with this product, but notice when I stipple my brush onto it a second time, it becomes a pinch lighter. So that tells me that there's a lot of pigments in there and you really gotta put your time into blending them out. Going to lightly add some of that foundation to my chest area, my décolletage, if you will, just because I do have a couple of really big breakouts. I don't know where they came from. Must be the humidity. For my concealer, I have the Meet Your Hue from Dose of Colors. And I also have the Huda Beauty, the Overachiever Concealer. I slightly like the Huda Beauty better because it does not oxidize, and I feel like in this case of concealer, it's kind of important to know the shade that you're working with even before you apply it on. So the shade that I'm using here is called Coconut Flakes 10 Neutral. I don't like using concealers that are too cool or that are too warm. Speaking of coolness, this applicator is so cooling. I love it. So now Huda Beauty, as you guys know, was started by Huda Beauty. That was her original name on Instagram. And her page was one of those feature pages that would feature people like myself, or Makeup by Anna, or Makeup by Lilith, as well as other influencers, makeup artists. And Huda became hugely successful because her page is what, at like 50 million followers now? So anyway, she quickly started a brand. She started it with lashes, and now she has pretty much everything outside of brows. Her concealers I really like. I like her foundation as well. There's actually a lot of products that I really like from Huda. Speaking of, I do have a best of guide or a full face tutorial using Huda Beauty, so you could definitely check it out if you want to. I actually created a playlist for my one brand tutorials / brand guide videos, and I have them for a lot of brands. For Huda, for Pat McGrath, we got a Natasha Denona in there, Urban Decay, PIXI, and that's just the beginning. Ooh, looking kinda ghostly and scary on my monitor. Maybe I went a little too light with the 10N. Maybe I should have gone for a slightly darker shade, but that's okay. We will blend it all out and we will make it work as we always do. So now for my setting powder, I am gonna reach for that ELCIE translucent setting powder. This one is excellent. I've used it in many videos and it's honestly one of my faves. All right, I'm setting the under eye, the side of the nose, using that same brush with no name. I'm gonna set between the brows, lightly lifting up this whole area here. That is looking rather bright in the center. I'm gonna set that little zit right there. And I'm actually just gonna add a pinch of that powder to my forehead. I'm just gonna gently sweep it all over. Moving on to brows. Unfortunately, no influencer brand has any brow product outside of Patrick Ta, who is another makeup artist turned influencer turned brand owner, but I don't have his brow products. I actually only have his gorgeous Major Glow highlighting mist, so I might as well just use it right now. I'm just gonna spray this all the way across my chest. You see that? It just adds this nice luminosity. Honestly, this is a really great product, but it does stink. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna use some palettes. I have these two palettes from influencer owned brands. One of them is Supreme Nudes by Artist Couture from my boo Mac Daddy, aka Angel Merino. And this is just a beautiful, neutral, warm, gorgeous and glorious palette with lots of different textures and shades. I feel like there's some really nice brow shades in here. Also have another palette from Linda Hallberg, who is a Swedish makeup artist / influencer, and this is a great palette. This is a face palette / eye palette, so you can really use it for just about anything. This shade here, Cigar, also looks very promising. So I'm gonna use a little bit of Silhouette and a little bit of Cigar. They're kind of similar tones here. So let's just use my Doll 10 number 6 brush for the brows that I love, and let's try it out. So what I'm gonna do first is fix my hair, and then I'm gonna start lightly filling in the sparse area of my brows. Now, I already set it with that Benefit brow gel. Benefit is not an influencer owned brand, so don't come for me. Okay, this shade Cigar is really, really, really excellent, and I am loving it for this technique. Do you see how it just added that nice necessary shadow to my brow? Kind of just defined it without over defining it, you know? New techniques. I mean, that's pretty nice. All right, I'm gonna use Silhouette for my other brow, and now this one is from Artist Couture Supreme Nudes palette. Very, very similar shade, and definitely also appropriate for filling in my type of brows. The undertone of both of these shades is a little bit more neutral, so it doesn't look super orange and brown when used as an eyeshadow to create this shadowed sort of look. Linda's is even more cool than Angel's, so I'm gonna do a little bit of both. Do we like this technique? Okay, so now I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna reach back into the Huda Beauty concealer and I'm just gonna etch out my brow. And I'm also gonna use that as my eyeshadow primer. I'm not gonna take too much, just a smidge on this Kelly Baker brow brush. And I'm gonna use it to define my eyebrow like so, and then also bring down this concealer to prime my lid. Oh, don't mind me just plucking my little excess brow hairs. Okay, so fresh and so clean. Here we go. I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna reach back for this Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics Luminous Setting Powder. And I'm gonna set my primer. Yes, I'm gonna set it with a luminous powder. And now for those of you who are unfamiliar for some reason, Jaclyn Hill is a massive YouTuber, massive influencer, massive beauty guru, one of the first. She created her line last year. Didn't go as planned, but she didn't stop there. She created more products. And honestly, I wish her nothing but the best. I think Jaclyn is a nice person. And I know you guys are not here for the tea or for the drama. I won't get into it either. I like Jaclyn and I like her products. I actually really like the way that turned out. I feel like now I have a slight luminosity on my brow bone, something that I would typically achieve by highlighting my brow bone, but now I don't necessarily need to. So we'll see how it goes and we'll see how everything meshes well together. I am ready for my eyeshadow. Now, there are so many eyeshadow palettes from these influencer brands. I already named Artist Couture Supreme Nudes. I already named Linda Hallberg Infinity palette. This is another great one. We also have palettes from Laura Lee Los Angeles, from Lunar Beauty, which is Manny's line. I'm actually absolutely obsessed with his Life's a Dream palette. It's one of my favorite palettes to date. So good because it's got colors and it's got neutrals. It's kind of like the one palette that you need. We also have tons of palettes from Dominique Cosmetics. This one is a great one of my favorites. We also have Tati Beauty. This is a palette that I reviewed. She's a phenomenon here on YouTube. So this is the first product from her Tati Beauty makeup line. Probably gonna dip into that because this is the only product that has glitter from the influencer brands. But the one that I'm specifically going to try to create a look from is this Identity 2 palette from Persona Cosmetics. Now, Persona Cosmetics was started by Sona, who is also a YouTuber, also an influencer. She's a friend of mine, and she really knows what she's doing. I really, really love her brand, Persona Cosmetics. I feel like it's very smart, it's very specific, and she nails it every single time. I'm just in love. Should we go for a neutral look today or should we go for some color? Because there's definitely some color options here. Still want to keep it summery though. Ooh. How can I incorporate both of these into one? Let's just start. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is dip into this shade right here called Honest. Cashier. I love the big giant mirror in this palette. Ooh. That is pretty. I'm gonna add this shade Honest all over my lid. Another no-name brush. Basically, I'm adding it from the inner corner to the center of my lid. I'm kind of just blending that out very, very gently. Packing it on and gliding it across. Yes, girl. Next, I'm gonna take a little bit of this shade here called Passionate, which is like a bricky peach. I'm gonna add that to my outer corner, kind of like extending my eye, also surrounding my outer corner, and just like extending it towards my tail end. Both of these colors are great. They work well. All right, so I've developed a theme for today's makeup. Quarantine brunch chic. Oh yeah, I'm obsessed with this eye look. It's real good. These shadows are really, really easy to blend. Even if you don't know what you're doing, I still think it's easy to use. It's still easy to blend. Okay, Persona. That is nice. I'm gonna grab a small little fluffy angled e.l.f. brush. This is called the Defining Eye Brush. I'm gonna grab this shade called Kind, which is basically just an ivory shade. And I'm gonna add that straight to the center, just for a little better blending, for a better transition. And I'm also gonna add a bit of that to my brow bone. Next, small little brush, I'm going to dip into Brave, and I'm gonna add that very, very closely to my outer lash line and wing that out in the same direction as the first shade. So kind of just sharpening this whole look. Also gonna add that right here to my lower lash line. Yeah, just a smidge of that makes a difference. And then I'm gonna blend it out once more. Wow. I'm gonna close up the Identity 2 palette. I'm gonna reach for Tati. I want just a little bit of sparkle, but not too much. So I'm gonna go for this shade here, which is Aura. It has just a little bit of golden sparkles. It's a very, very pigmented shade. I'm gonna add that to the center. Ooh, and these sparkles, I don't know if you guys can tell. They're so subtle, but they would look so pretty in the sun during brunch. They're actually not gold at all like I thought. They're gold and they're also pink. So this adds even more interest. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, I do think I need to define my crease just a little bit. I'm gonna head to Artist Couture and I'm gonna go for that silhouette, that same shade that I used for my brows. I'm gonna use just a little bit of that on that same e.l.f. brush, just a smidge. And I'm gonna add that right here, just to kind of define and separate this lid space between my lash and between my brow. I'm not going all the way to the back, I just want it to be here. This is going to sort of change up my eye shape a little bit, but that is exactly what I'm going for. And then just blend that out. All right, same thing on the other side. Ooh, yeah, so good. So good. You guys see the difference? It's there, but it's subtle, and I like it. You can especially see the difference when my eyes are slightly closed. Then you could really see the definition in the inner portion. I'm gonna take a clean brush and just blend that out a bit better right here. Swooped. Ooh, let's do some bronzing, some contouring, and some highlighting. For the contour, I'm going to reach for Miss Nikita Dragun's Dragon Beauty Face Pressed Powder Palette. I love this palette. It's so cute. The packaging is adorable. I love to press her nose like it's a button. These shades are super flattering on just about anyone. So I'm gonna use this shade here called Femme to add a little bit of contour and definition to my face. I'm gonna use my PIXI good old brush. I'm gonna start at the forehead. Now notice how subtle but buildable this shade is. And Nikita in her personality is not subtle by any means. She is very in your face and I love that about her. Her makeup is also very much in your face. But this, I think, is a palette that is for literally every skill level. Anyone can use this. You see how my face is already starting to take shape? Before, when I just had the flat foundation on, it was looking a little like a blob, little like one-toned, but now it's coming back together. I'm gonna take a Sigma 3D HD Kabuki Precision. This is the brush that I like to use for my nose contour. Just going to define this nose bridge. Just like that, and then I'm gonna buff it out. Boom, underneath my mouth. Thanks, Dragon Beauty. So cute. I am looking for, yes, I'm looking for my Moon Prism blush palette from Lunar Beauty. I love this blush palette. It's so good. The shades are stunning. They're gorgeous. They're flattering. They're inclusive. And let's see, for my eye look today, I'm thinking a little bit of Gravity. Couldn't hurt. This is kind of like a nice, slightly bronzy shade, and I think it'll go well. Ooh, yeah, this is a pop. It goes really great with that previous shade that I used from Dragon Beauty. Literally just painting my cheek in the back, keeping it all in the back. You know what? I want to use a different blush too. I want to use this one right here called Twilight, which is actually my favorite one from this palette. I'm gonna add that for a little bit of a pop. Just a smidgel bit. It's just like a little more sun-kissed, you know, a little bit beachier. All right, putting that aside, I'm gonna reach for this ELCIE Cosmetics bronzer, one of my original favorite bronzers. And I'm gonna bronze up. This is Morphe RO brush. This is the medium bronzer. And I'm basically gonna slap this bronzer all the way across my forehead. I'm gonna need a slightly smaller brush to blend that into the hairline, but that is mighty fine. Also gonna add a bit of that bronzer across my face just to blend with that blush. That worked. Now, highlighter, lashes, or lips. Let's go for a highlighter first. I'm gonna reach for this glazed highlighter palette from my girl Laura Lee, from her brand Laura Lee Los Angeles. This one is so pretty. And the reason why I love it is because it has a lot of options. A lighter one, a medium one, a colorful one, and a deep one. I'm gonna go for this shade here called Glow Gal. ELCIE brush. I should have used all ELCIE brushes for today's video. Clearly, I wasn't thinking about brushes. Ooh. One of the most poppin' highlighters ever. Look at that. Look at that. It's just like bing. Love that. Actually, also gonna use that same shade. Did you hear my voice? That same shade to highlight my inner corner. Just a smidge. My brow arch. Literally just a dot. My nose. Just one side. And also my Cupid's bow, because I haven't done that in a while. I'm gonna close her out. I want a lip. Ooh. Got a lot of lip options here. From Artist Couture, Persona, Lunar Beauty, Laura Lee Los Angeles, and I also have these awesome Huesticks from Live Tinted from my girl Deepika, who's another influencer turned influencer brand owner. And I love these Huesticks because you can use them as your lip colors, but you could also use them as color correctors. You could use them as blush. You could even use them on your lids. So they're pretty ingenious. Ooh, how about a nice pale summery nude? Maybe a little too pale for me, but this is a vibe. All right, I'm gonna go for this Dose of Colors lip liner in the shade Overdrawn. Perfect. And I'm gonna overdraw my lips. Wow, these two shades are actually perfect for each other. Ooh, not the look that I was going for, but I'm liking the finish. And I think it's actually really, really wearable, but also has this hint of glam. Let's set all that one more time. Dominique Cosmetics X JD Weighty 180. I could shower in this. This is so good. And now for the lashes. I don't have an influencer-owned mascara brand, so I am going to have to improvise. I'm gonna curl my lashes first with a non-influencer-owned lash curler. All right, I'm gonna add this waterproof mascara to my lashes. Never tried this one, so I don't know how good it is, but as long as it's waterproof, it's fine by me. Ooh, so it looks pretty nice, actually. It looks pretty good. All right, you guys, so this is my official final look. I was gonna go for lashes, but I decided that this was enough. I'm really feeling this look. I feel like I look very current, very modern, kind of have like a foxy eye thing happening. I like the monochromatic, the very fresh, summery, dewy skin. Although it is full coverage, it doesn't feel like it's a mask. It doesn't look like it's a mask. And honestly, all of these products work together really, really well. My answer to that is that a lot of these influencers have a makeup artist background before they even start going on Instagram and promoting their work and whatnot. Bottom line is, beauty influencers, beauty gurus, beauty YouTubers, call them what you may, but we got a lot of experience in makeup. We see products on the daily and we're constantly exposing ourselves to new products from various brands all over the world, from big brands to small brands to indie brands, everything in between. So with the makeup artist background, with the influencer background, I feel like the influencer owned makeup brand market is actually very, very good. So all of these products that I mentioned and used in this video are not just my favorite products from these influencer owned makeup brands. They are actually my favorite products from the entire makeup industry as a whole. These are great products. I swear by them. I use them all the time. They have my seal of approval, and I'm gonna continue reaching for them because they are that good. So I'm gonna zoom on out, you guys, and you made it to the end. Oh my God, I got 2 more videos right here for you to watch and click on. All right, so go ahead and do it. I will see you guys soon. Mwah.